Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this edition of Get More Referrals Today podcast. Whether you are listening to us through Podbean, through iTunes, through Google Play, through Spotify, you can subscribe to any of those platforms wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts and make sure you never miss an episode. Or if you're watching this on our social platforms, our $1 Million Referral Network Facebook group, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, had to think of them all. Welcome, and can't wait to get into this episode. Something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about this challenge that I'm doing in 5 days' time. And I'm going to do this in two parts. Part one today being beforehand, and part two next week after the actual experience. So why? What's the point of talking about this? Well, I think what you're about to see is a whole bunch of great golden nuggets and takeaways in terms of how to make yourself, your business, more remarkable, more profitable, more impactful. And in essence, that's what we're about. I know getting referrals is great. I know growing our business is great, but it's so much more than that. Right? It's about what are your end goals? What are your end dreams? What are your end ambitions? Hey, that's why you do what you do. That's why you grow a business, so that you can make more of an impact. You can help other people, so that you can be profitable. Because if you ain't making money and your business ain't profit, what's the point? Okay? All the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in has to give you a return. And just as important, how can you be more remarkable? So let me set the scene. On Friday, like 4 or 5 days' time, I start something which I probably never thought I would ever do in my life. And it's called the 4x4x48 challenge. 4 miles, so 6.44 kilometers for us Australian folk, Southern Hemisphere folk that use kilometers, not miles. So it's 6.44 kilometers every 4 hours for 48 hours straight. So in total, you do just over 77 kilometers over the course of 48 hours. Now, here's someone who's run 10 kilometers 3 times in their life in the last 4 months. Prior to that 4 months, I'd be lucky if I've run probably more than 2 kilometers in total type of thing. Okay? So what's actually taking place here? Like, why? Because I remember really clearly this day. As a good friend of mine, James Short, and he came and he said, I'm training for this ultra marathon. I'm thinking, what's an ultra marathon? I've got no idea. I'm going to run 250 kilometers over 7 days through the outback of Australia. It was up in Darwin. Anyone who knows Darwin, is stinking hot and not the nicest place to run. It's like running through Death Valley in Arizona type of thing. So here I am going, what a maniac. Like, why? What's the point? Like, how can that ever be enjoyable? But now I actually get it. It's not about being enjoyable. It's not about it being fun. It's about doing things that you just didn't think were possible to do, for you to do. Now, obviously, it's possible because other people have done it, but you didn't think it was possible for you to do. So this started about 4 months ago, and a whole bunch of people in our network had done this program called 75 Hard. Right? Andy Frisella and his podcast, Real AF, look it up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, because it is something you should be listening to all the time. So I've listened to his podcast and I've seen some people do 75 Hard. And I always saw it as it was a bit of a weight loss thing. And I didn't actually understand the program was all around mental toughness. It was around callousing your mind. It was around doing what you didn't think was possible to do. So I was listening to this one episode on a Monday morning. It was like 5:15 a.m. And I went, get yourself in order. It'd been a weekend where one disaster after another disaster took place. And here on Monday morning, I'm laying there going, you got to decide to do something with your life, because right now you're not, and it's a complete waste. And by 6:30 a.m., I'd listened to this podcast and I was out going for a run stroke walk stroke, a bit more of a walk and a bit more of a run. And I completed 45 minutes of doing an outdoor exercise. And 75 Hard is doing 6 activities every day for 75 days straight. Now, the transformation has been unbelievable, without a doubt. My mindset, my mental toughness, my drive, my self-belief, my self-confidence, the swagger is back. And during that time, I got introduced to another amazing human being, David Goggins. So I started listening to everything that he had done. Like, there was 1 week where I probably listened to 80 hours worth of podcasts of his that he'd been on simply while I was out there running. And there was this one thing that just didn't leave me for that whole week. Do things on purpose that you are uncomfortable in doing. Do things on purpose that you are uncomfortable in doing. Like, when we think about this from a business perspective, most of us hate picking up the phone and calling people. We're dreadful at follow-up. We're hopeless at starting conversations. There's so many little things every day that we just simply go, oh, I can do that tomorrow, or I'll catch that up later, or you know what, it doesn't matter. Or we try to find an easy way out of it. But no, do the things that we are uncomfortable with doing. So I am more than uncomfortable with running long distances, without a doubt. I didn't even think it was possible. So then I started to run 10Ks every now and then. And it wasn't so much being able to run 10Ks. That wasn't hard. It was the boredom of running for an hour straight. So I had to find other ways. I get to the 10-minute mark and it was like, can I stop? This is just boring. It's not that it's hard, not that it was hurting. It was boring. So I started to find little ways to trick my mind. And then I could last 20 minutes before I had to start with different ways to trick my mind. And then 30 minutes. And then I had little games with myself to, hey, how can you do 800 meters going up like half a kilometer in pace every 200 meters? And we do different things to be able to trick our mind. Because the thing I've now learned, your body can do whatever you want it to do. It's the mind, it's the brain that we have been given that is there for survival. It's there to protect us. It's there to keep us safe. That's what our brain was back in caveman days, protecting us from the wild-toothed saber tigers, making sure that we could hunt and feed ourselves, reproduce, and have shelter. Well, fast forward today, it hasn't changed. It's still there for survival mode. So it says, don't worry about doing that. Don't worry about that. That's a bit too hard. Don't worry about that. You can do that another day. And it gives us meanings to things that happen in our day. So by doing this 4x4x48 challenge, we start Friday, 3 p.m., and we run 4 miles, 6.44 kilometers. Then again, you do it at Friday, 7 p.m., then Friday, 11 p.m., then Saturday, 3 a.m., then Saturday, 7 a.m., 11 a.m., Saturday, 3 p.m., 7 p.m., 11 p.m., Sunday morning, 3 a.m., 7 a.m., and finish with the last one Sunday at 11 a.m. 6.44 kilometers, 77.4 kilometers in total, 48 miles in total. And now we're hitting ultra marathon status. I never thought I'd ever call myself close to that. And running 77 kilometers in one go, hey, that's a whole nother challenge that I'm ready for down the track, not right now. So here we are beforehand. And I've got lots of kilometers in my legs. Last week we did 100 kilometers in total. So I feel my legs are ready to go. Nutrition concerns me. I don't know much about nutrition, but I'm studying and I'm looking and I'm planning and I'm going, we'll get this right. Is it going to be hard? 1,000,000 times. Will I fail? 100% not. Because this is the huge lesson. I've become obsessed with little things. I've become obsessed with our business being more remarkable than what it was. I've become obsessed with helping our clients more than what we could ever help them before. If they're talking to another human being about what we do and how we do it and the programs they're in, I've already pictured what I want coming out of their mouths. You see, when you do other things in your life, especially in a personal sense, and you tick things off and you win every single day, there's these traits that start happening within you personally. See, we're made to win. It's part of our human primal instincts. It's part of what our brain is there to do, is win. Now, winning is we've put food on the table. We've got shelter over our head. We had a great conversation with someone. We've got a new client. We've got this result for clients. We got our children to do something that we wanted them to do. Like, we're winning in so many different ways throughout life. But most of the time, we don't even notice that we're winning because we focus on the things that go wrong. We focus on the problems. We focus on the fires. We focus on the negative things. So what we keep telling our conscious brain over and over and over again is, help me survive. Help me get through the day. How many people go, I need coffee to start my morning? Rubbish. It's just what you've told yourself. So therefore it's true. How many people go, I need bread, I need sugar, I need alcohol, I need a glass of wine, I need... The thing is, we don't need anything. Sleep and water. But it's what we tell ourselves that therefore that's what we feel we need. So what's taken place over the last 4 months has become this every little day doing things to win and to see that we're winning, because you're winning every day. Every day, I can guarantee you could tell me 5 to 10 things that you've won at, but you probably don't even see them as winning. But if you 5 to 10 times a day tick something off, said, yes, done that, finished that, imagine how your self-belief would be. Imagine how your confidence would be. Imagine, as I talk about, your air of good arrogance would be. It's not about being arrogant. To have an air of good arrogance through adding value and staying humble. We put this down to your swagger, your mojo. Imagine how that would be. You see, by doing things that you didn't believe you were able to do, you create this belief, this confidence. You create this inner game that as business owners, you need to have. You need to lead yourself before you can lead your household, before you can lead your team, before you can lead your clients, before you can lead your prospects. And so what things can you do that show you that you are committed to you? Because the majority of times we're not. If you look over the last week, unfortunately, you probably have instances where you go, oh, it doesn't matter. I can catch that up tomorrow. Or it doesn't matter. I'll do that another day. Or it doesn't matter if I just have one glass. It doesn't matter if I just sneak that in. It doesn't matter if I just have a rest. It doesn't. And you're right, it doesn't. In the bigger scheme of things, it doesn't. But there's this little thing that's happening. You're teaching your own brain that it's okay to put you second, to not commit to you, to be lazy. And I know you don't want that. I know hearing that hurts. But that's what happens. And then we get used to our environment and we get used to the routine and we get used to doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And they become the norm. They become what is just what we're used to. And that's good enough. And how we do one thing in life is how we do everything else in life. So if you're really obsessed with being remarkable, with being profitable, with making an impact, if it's on your mind every single day of how you can do that, then how are you leading you to be able to do that? How are you being remarkable? How are you callous in your own mind? How are you living in the uncomfortable and thriving with it, crushing it? Or are you not? So as I come back, our 4x4x48 is also here because part of our impact and creating this ripple effect throughout society is helping underprivileged children as well as rescued animals. But this one is to raise money for Make-A-Wish Foundation. And our goal is 15,000. So as much as becoming obsessed, callous in my mind, doing things that I just don't think are possible, it's also there to raise money. If you can help, we need 300 people to donate $50. That would be absolutely amazing. The link is in the show notes. But even just to know that there might be a little bit of inspiration right now. You don't need to go and do 4x4x48. But you don't even need to go and do a kilometre. You just need to know that whatever you do that you win at, put it in your cookie jar. As David Goggins refers to. Do things that you didn't think you could do to put in your cookie jar as a reference for when things get tough. And you look back on it, you go, oh, I did that, and I did that, and I've done that, and I've survived that, and I did this, as if I can't handle whatever this problem is that's going on right now. Because of course you can, and you will. And I think that putting things into your cookie jar as reference points, callous in your mind, asking yourself, what else can I do? Whatever that level is for you. Because that's what gives you growth inside. So Tony Robbins talks about our 6 core needs: certainty, uncertainty, love, connection. But growth is the big one. If we don't feel like we are growing, we're miserable. So do things that allow you to find your passion, to find your purpose, to find your drive, to reach your dreams, your goals, ambitions, because that's why you're in business. Not in business just for the fun of it. You're not in business to get up, having to deal with all the problems day in, day out. You're not in business to go and try to find new clients every single day. You're in business because deep down, you've got this thing that you really want to achieve. Attach yourself back to that. I can't wait. You can follow us on our social platforms. So follow me on Facebook, just search for Michael Griffiths. Follow me on Instagram, Michael_referral guru. Follow me on LinkedIn as we go through 4x4x48 over the course of the weekend. We're starting Friday, 3 p.m. Sydney time, and finishing up about Sunday midday after I finish the 11 a.m. run, walk, crawl, depending on whatever we're up to at that stage. Yeah, if you can donate, that would be amazing as we raise money for Make-A-Wish Foundation. But understand the message from in here today. This isn't about, wow, look at me. It's not about look at me. It's not why I'm sharing. I'm sharing because you've got more in you. You can do so much more. And just take baby steps. Baby steps lead to bigger steps that lead to bigger steps that lead to bigger steps. And before you know it, you're finding ways that light you up. And that's what's exciting. Okay, guys, that's it from me. I'll go part 2 next week and walk you through the lessons that we've learned through this. But otherwise, take care, have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you real soon.